Breaking news. I'm toasted. Welcome back, beautiful people, to episode 52 of the Trey Smith Perspective. It's been quite a long time. Quite a long time. I believe before Christmas was the last time that we spoke. Just a quick message out there right off the bat here. There is no YouTube version this week. No YouTube version this week. Due to the state of the recording area, not able to do a YouTube version. I actually have to lean in like a fucking radio announcer just to even be able to reach my microphone, just because the state of the current room that I'm in. Anywho, now that the excuses for quality are out of the way, shout out to y'all. Long-time listeners, first-time listeners. Because I know there are some listeners. Contrary to popular belief, there are some listeners out there, at least for this program. The football talk support, not going to lie, I'm going to call it out. Little bit bullshit. I should not be seeing 3 views on those football talk views. Now, be it, that is the YouTube algorithm fault. You could literally click a link directly to football talk and probably not land on the football talk video, because YouTube just stinks for channels like mine with 19 to 20 to 30, like anywhere in less than 100 to 1,000 to anywhere less than where you're making a dent. YouTube just doesn't give a fuck unless you're posting every day, which I am not. This will go up on YouTube as an audio clip. The whole thing will be up. The audio for the whole thing will be up, but there just is no video this week. Potentially not next week. I'm also messing around with a new video software app type thing. I deleted my last video editing thing. I did not like it at all. Wonder Bean. Yeah, calling you out, son. I wasn't with it. Wonderwear, whatever the fuck that shit was called. I wear them like thunder fucking underwear. That shit was garbage. It was garbage. It actually wasn't bad, but then they put out an update, changed the whole interface, knocked a few features out that I enjoyed, and I'm not paying fucking hundreds of dollars a year to use you X amount of times a year. And no, not doing it. So I'm playing around with a new set of recording software. I downloaded 2. I'm figuring out which one is which. I also have a vacation coming up at my shregula schmegula everyday job. I have a vacation coming up in the coming week, so I'm going to use that time to really nail down how to make that function properly. Most of the football talk video, at least on my side, looked like shit. That is no fault of Matt's. That is my fault, because I'm not paying for Discord Plus. So Discord, I think that's why my audio sounds drowned out all the fucking time on football talk, because I use the same setup, same mic, same everything. So I blame Discord for skewing my fucking audio and my vision and my video quality on football talk. Me and Matt will also figure out something else. We'll make some tweaks to the format. Overall, I very much enjoy doing that. Check it out on YouTube. We get into a couple pretty good conversations. I'm not going to hold you. Some of it's dry-ass content, because we both work 40 hours a week, plus can't watch every fucking game, can't talk about every game, and I think our biggest fault is that we try to. We don't just touch on what we've just seen. We try to touch on everything, and I think by extension we end up making a lot of things bland and dry, given the format in which we record, because we're miles apart. But I'm looking forward to season 3 of Football Talk, the changes it may bring, and again, just getting back with Matt week to week. Sorry, I thought the fucking roof was coming down for a second. I just heard rain, Well, anyway, now that this intro has been a little bit long-winded, I'm not going to touch on Christmas and New Year's. That shit is well too far past. I'm not going to touch on Valentine's Day either. That shit's well in the past at this point. Hope y'all had a great Christmas. Hope y'all had a great New Year. Happy 2023. Hope y'all had a great Valentine's Day with your significant other, family, whatever, however you celebrate Valentine's Day. Me and my lady had a great Valentine's Day. Maybe the only thing that I would touch on from the New Year's is the karaoke sessions that happen annually at my grandmother's house. normally they happen like every fucking get-together because they just can't resist pulling out the karaoke machine. But definitely you can bet your ass that like Thanksgiving and Christmas, they coming at. And you can bet your ass that me and my girlfriend are going to be put on display, like made to dance in front of everybody. And I'll quickly say that my girlfriend is much better than I am at singing. But it's just because the bar for vocal talent in my family is so low that even my mediocre ass sounds good in there. So let someone like her walk in with some actual good pipes. Brings the room to tears. It's awesome. Love you, baby. Anyway, I guess I could quickly touch on music. Again, we discussed this last time I did a pod, that I have not been able to listen to music as much. And some of the new music I have listened to, I've already forgot about that I would have discussed. So we'll just quickly touch on some stuff that I feel like I should touch on. The Rihanna halftime performance, because that's music related and it's new Rihanna. It's very late on this too, like a month after this. Actually, I gave my thoughts on that on Football Talk, so I'm going to skip that. Fuck that. Creed 3 soundtrack. I listened to that shit in the gym. That shit's pretty fire, I'm not going to lie. It's no Black Panther soundtrack, but it's pretty damn good. Dreamville did a great job. The Don Toliver album was good. I listened to 2 songs off of the Logic album, and that was all. Not saying they were bad, I just didn't listen to more. Again, as far as music, Janelle Monáe's new song that she put out was good. We'll touch on Janelle Monáe again later. Again, as far as new music, have not listened to much. I don't remember if I touched on Cal Scrubby's new album last time I did a pod, but that came out, Casino. There are some great songs off that for the gym. Great gym playlist songs in there. We definitely touched on Metro's album. See, this is how I had to touch on. I'm bringing up old-ass albums. Old-ass albums. Chloe's new album, I believe, is either out or on the way. Let me see. Oh, by the way, Snapchat. Spotify. Hey, Spotify. This new interface, dog shit. Absolute dog shit. The Chloe album is not out yet. I don't know the exact release date of that, but the single with Chris Brown, How Does It Feel? That is pretty good. I enjoyed that. Sounds about how I thought it would sound, though. I like that Pray It Away song she released in January. I thought that shit was pretty damn good. Macklemore, Heroes with DJ Preem. I don't know when that came out, but that's a newish song I've been bumping. See, I've just been out of touch in terms of music. That's, again, a late January song. Like, it's just getting around to me. A lot of these new age rappers, like the new rappers that are coming up, like in the last like year or two, not fucking with a lot of them. Just gonna say that. A lot of the R&B acts I have been fucking with, but again, I haven't been able to listen as much, so I've just been sticking with the favorites. We will change that as we get into summer, and of course, on my vacation week, we'll probably dive into some more music as well. But for now, that's all I got music-wise. Listen to the Creed 3 soundtrack. If you're trying to go to the gym, there's a couple non-gym songs on there too. That's probably going to be one of them. Is probably going to be our song of the week. And before I go any further, I would like to issue the most sincere apology possible to my man Joe Brad. I believe I mentioned this on one of the Football Talk episodes, but again, nobody watches those, so we'll get into this here. Joseph Bradley, one of my homies from childhood, moved to San Francisco with his lady. We haven't really been in touch. He was on this podcast. He was my one and only guest so far. He was on episode 9. Probably my best episode, probably to this day still, I'd say. And he messaged me January 2nd. And was telling me, hey, how you doing? Like, did you find your keys? I'm catching up on the podcast. That's a reference to a podcast episode on episode 22. I didn't see that text until February 15th. That's from January 2nd. And also, this is my homie. I didn't text him Happy New Year. None of that shit. I don't even know if I texted him Merry Christmas. Gives me a fucking text. Give me an update that he's listening to the pod. Let me know what's up. Just touching base. And I don't see it for a month and a half. I am dog shit. That is horrible. I am so sorry, Joseph, if you're still listening to the pods. And I know you're thinking, just fucking text him or call him. Like, I did text him on February 15th. I sent him a winking Shaq face because I didn't know what to say. I believe this was while we were filming Football Talk at 8:05 on February 15th. I just sent him a winking Shaq gif because I didn't know what to say. He rightfully did not respond to that. But, hey, I'm just letting you know that I extended the olive branch. And I come on my platform to say, I am so sorry. Remember to check up on those that you love, people. Also, if people like, don't be one of those people, like, not saying I know anyone like this, but don't be one of those people who, like, if life is going on and one of your friends is, like, working and has a girlfriend and has other things that they do and they can't hang out with you a lot, don't be one of them dudes who takes that personally and, like, fucking, like, acts different every third time that you see somebody just because they haven't been able to hang out the way they like to. Some people are just, like, unintentionally flaky. Like, I don't mean to be not hanging out with y'all. My bad. Like, it just be happening. Like, I be getting, like, y'all be doing shit when I be feeling, like, at my not wanting to be doing shit, or I be doing shit. Sometimes I just be doing shit. It just be that way. Like, the timing is horrible. That's why I don't play Call of Duty, because I got horrible timing. Anyway, let's quickly rebound to something else. We didn't really touch on sports. Not that we typically do here. That's what Football Talk's for. We don't typically do that here. I do typically give my NBA analysis eye, but that is coming. I'm slowly slipping into my NBA mode. Every time I start feeling like I want to play some 2K, which happened earlier today, I'm starting to slip into the I'm starting to feel the 2K bite. So maybe at some point this week I'll get my fingers on that, and we'll play that. Before we dive into that, as far as NFL news, we're really not going to touch too much on the offseason here. Probably some things here and there, mostly things related to the Steelers. Again, once I shift into basketball mode, that's kind of it. It's what it becomes for the remainder of the offseason. I'll maybe touch on some of the big stuff. Maybe we'll get Matt on here to talk some football. But other than that, Favre suing McAfee's about the only thing, and I might just like play clips from that going forward to give context on that. But anyway, Kyrie and Luka. We'll see how that continues to fold. They both dropped 40 last night. That shit look, they're 2-4 together. Not off to a great start, but hey, they both drop 40 every night. That's going to be a fucking problem. They got to play some defense, though. That team does not play defense. But that's a lot of teams in the league do not play defense. Like the Clippers, what happened to them? They were supposed to be this defensive team. I guess they got old and they don't play defense no more. And we all know the game I'm referencing where there was not a lick of defense played between either team, and they are 0-4 since Russell Westbrook has arrived. I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm just saying why bring that on? But anyway, I don't know what's going on with the Heat. They should rebound. I believe they will rebound. I don't think they'll fall to the play-in or stay in the play-in situation. I believe they will rise to either 6th, 7th seed. I think they'll be fine. The new look Lakers. Bronze foot injury, obviously cause for concern. Will he be back before the season? I think so, because he was able to finish that game. Now, be it when the adrenaline's going and you're in the mix of battle, you're kind of able to fight through that. After a week or two goes by, that thing tightens up. It gets a little bit harder to get loose. Starts getting a little bit more sensitive. We'll see how Bron is. But also, he was also dealing with that. I forget the TNT reporter. He said that Bron has been dealing with this foot-esque injury since he broke Kareem's record. So it's been a lingering thing. If the best case scenario for the Lakers is they're able to sit him for the rest of the way and still somehow make the plan. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Now, they're not that far out of contention. That's possible. But like a streak of bad games, we got like 20 games left. 3 or 4 bad games can sink the team for sure. Can sink them. Dame dropping 71. That's fucking crazy. The fact that two dudes have dropped over 70 points in the same season, that's fucking wild. But, shout out to Dame constantly doing it. Dame just constantly telling y'all he's not leaving Portland. Stop asking Dame if he's leaving Portland. He's not leaving Portland. Not happening. Unless he's literally sent out of town or stolen, like kidnapped in the night. Dame is not leaving Portland. But that's all I got on the NBA so far this week. We'll continue to touch on that as the season goes on and the playoffs approach. My Raptors are they're where they have been the last two seasons. They're good enough to stay around 500 and keep you hanging on the teat all the way up until the end. I think they'll end up making the play-in, maybe even winning the play-in. But this team is not really a team that can win anything in the playoffs. But we'll see what happens. And not to put my foot in the ground and completely pivot, but stop getting naked in the gym, man. Or if you are, I believe I've said this on here before. I come on this podcast with all of my gym gripes, all of my GGs. I come out here with all of my GGs. And what are my GGs this week? Stop getting butt-ass naked in the gym, dude. Listen. There's no reason why y'all can't go in the shower area to get naked. Get down to your boxers. That's cool. That's fine, bro. It's a locker room. I understand that. And that's what everyone's saying. It's a locker room. What do you think you're gay? What do you... No. It's like a how are you this comfortable naked around other fucking people thing. And a respect thing. Hey, I don't want to round the corner just getting here, slipping into my mindset. I look up, 68-year-old butt cheeks. Hello? I walked in the other day, some dude, butt naked, has one sock on. He's trying to get the other sock off. He has one sock off. He's trying to get the other sock off. And he's jumping up and down. And you can imagine that's on entry. That's me rounding the corner. Boing, boing. Oh, hello. How many times you go to leave? Fucking just a whole fucking army of fucking naked old man butt cheeks. And it's always the old dudes who are just I don't care. And they just let it all hang out there. Get down to the briefs. Or do the thing where you get down to the briefs, put the towel on, then you take the underwear. That's classy. Bunch of whores out here. It's disgusting. Anyway. Let's get into some other shit. What do we got? Let's get into some video games, huh? Yeah, shut up. We're not going to linger here long. Hogwarts Legacy. Boo! Yeah, stop. Yeah, shut up, all right? Nobody supports that bullshit J.K. Rowling said. That's all I'm going to say about it. We're not going to touch it. I'm strictly touching Hogwarts Legacy on this one. That's it. And how I feel about it as a game, 24 hours into it at this point. And it's fucking awesome. The game I wanted as a child. This game is fucking amazing. The detail, the depth, the branches that constantly branch. There's just so much to love in this game as a fan of the IP. And what's amazing is that they don't use any of the characters. It's an entirely original story. Oh, excuse me. An entirely original story set. I told you there's shit all over the place. Set I think hundreds of years before whenever the fuck Harry Potter is. It's set hundreds and hundreds of years before that. And what I love about it so much is that it's everything you love about the world, and it shows that it can work without the fucking dude with the scar on his forehead and the redhead and the snarky smart girl and the Malfoys. And it can work without all that. All new people. There's Weasleys, because there's always Weasleys. There's some ancestors that you see, which is dope. And the Easter eggs dope. By the way, if somebody figures out how to get in the Chamber of Secrets, or if there is a way, please tell me. I don't think there is because I Googled it. But like when you go in Slytherin's scriptorium and you find that little paper that says that he puts the beast to sleep in the Chamber of Secrets, bruh, I leaned in and got so excited. As soon as I went in the bathroom, though, and it said no one knows how to get in or whatever, and I Googled it, I couldn't find it. I was immediately disappointed. I actually had to turn the game off. I was like, oh. Because I got up so fast and then came down. So it was brought down so quickly. But other than that, fantastic game, man. Like the story so far, I believe I'm about 65%, 70% through. Not the most amazing story I've ever played through, but a damn good story for this world. Better than Fantastic Beasts, better than anything that we've gotten since the Deathly Hallows. Like, it is a damn good game. And the depth to it is remarkable. They did this right. I was skeptical about it before it came out, but they did a lot of things right here. They did a lot of things right, and definitely check it out. If you're even kind of a fan of the IP, check it out. What else can we touch on here? Where we at? We have 21 minutes. Don't worry, we're not wrapping up. That's not a cue to get the fuck out of here. Though we don't have much longer. We're just gonna this is the beginning of something beautiful once again. Now, I guess we could touch on that before we go forward. Are we gonna continue on a weekly basis to put these out? I would hope so. Truth is, I don't know until I'm able to lock down a new place, which I'm looking for. And I cannot fucking wait until I land on a place and I'm able to get in there. That's when I'm expecting this flower to really start to blossom. Until then, we're going to still be struggling to put out the tidbits of fucking content. It just is what it is. But for now, here we are. Let's get into some of the must-watches that I've kind of compiled since the last time we've spoken. There's a couple things I'm not going to mention, and a couple things we'll just save for next week. Like, I'm probably just going to save Bel Air for next week, dive into that as a whole. Plus, I'm an episode behind, so we'll hold off on that. What we will dive in, let's real quick, in the vein of TV shows, The Last of Us on HBO. Another thing I was skeptical about that they have knocked out of the fucking park. Fantastic. Good job, Neil. There's a couple things that I haven't, like, if there's two critiques that come to mind right away. Well, three, actually, because fuck you. I live in Pittsburgh. Why did you change it from Pittsburgh to Kansas City? Go fuck yourself. Two, Rose from Charlie Sheen. Rose from Charlie Sheen. Wow. Rose from 2.5 Men. That chick who led the faction, like, that was trying to hunt down the one dude and his brother. Henry and his brother or whatever. That didn't need to be there. The whole extra layers that they built on that area of the story didn't need to be there, in my opinion. Did not need to be there, in my opinion. And what else did I not really think? Oh, nothing. This one's not really too big of a gripe. It's just, I think when Joel and Ellie, when Joel tries to dump Ellie off on Tommy because Joel just feels like he can't go any further and he doesn't want to lose another daughter type figure, their argument in the game, I feel, was much better. I feel like Troy and Ashley did a much better job than Pedro and Bella. And it's still great in the show. And maybe if you've seen the show first before you play the game, maybe you like it that way. But having seen it in the game several times first, I think there's a couple instances where I think just Troy was able to nail that, like, Joel is not a nice guy. And again, that might be the direction of Craig and Neil in this rendition, where, like, maybe there's a little bit more of a softer edge to Joel 20 years later. But in the game, it was very obvious that, like, no, Joel can get downright fucking filthy. But we'll see. We'll continue to see where that goes. So far, very impressed. There's only a couple episodes left, so I'm curious to see how they kind of cram this all in. Hopefully they stick the landing, and Season 2 is confirmed. They did say that they will do Part 2, but that it might take 2 seasons, so we'll see how that goes. I, again, like The Last of Us Part 2. playing The Last of Us Part 1 right into Part 2. Like I've said on here before, I finished Part 1 and then 45 minutes later started Last of Us 2. It tracks. The story makes sense right up until the ending of Last of Us 2, which is, again, not that fucking great in my opinion. But more must-watches. Puss in Boots 2. Fucking fire. Absolutely fire. Spoiler alert, the ending opens up for the possibility of a new Shrek movie. That would be amazing. But, my God, that shit was so dope. And the wolf was dope, too. Florence Pugh was good in it. Salma Hayek was good in it. I don't know who played Perrito, but he did a great job. Antonio Banderas does a fantastic job at Puss in Boots every time. But, yeah, that movie was surprisingly great. Not gonna lie. Bought it on Blu-ray the day it came out just so I could watch it and be like, wow, okay, yeah, everyone was right. This is a great movie. Another great movie, Glass Onion. Kind of came out a while ago. Kind of a way late review on this thing, but Glass Onion was awesome. And it sent me on this fucking, like, Rian Johnson Knives Out Glass Onion bender where I was just, like, watching, like, YouTube videos about both movies, like, breaking down, like, the fucking, you know what I mean? And the performance of everybody in that movie was awesome. From Edward Norton to Catherine Hahn to Batista to Janelle Monáe to Daniel Craig. It was absolutely phenomenal. So definitely check out Glass Onion. You don't have to see Knives Out to understand Glass Onion. You can still love it all the same. And I think it's a little sillier than Knives Out, but Knives Out's still an amazing movie. Highly recommend checking that out. And I think that one's still better. I still prefer Knives Out over Glass Onion, but Glass Onion was a lot of fun. Another movie that's been out, like, for years, I think this movie came out in, like, 2014. That McDonald's movie with fucking Michael Keaton. The Founder or some shit. McFounder? What? The Founder? Yeah, The Founder. That shit's really good. That's a good-ass movie. The only thing I didn't like, this is how stupid I am. My major complaint with that movie was that at the end of the movie, they were given the credits like they do with all, like, based on true story movies. They let you know where, like, everyone's at today or, like, what happened to them. It's like, okay, with it not being in writing, the McDonald's brothers were never able to prove their contract and never received their royalties, which was like, obviously, that's bullshit. The very next fact is McDonald's would later go on to add ice cream back into their milkshakes. And then it ends, and I'm like, that's the end of the facts? Like, what happened to the McDonald brothers? Hello? I did not appreciate that. But still a very good movie. Michael Keaton does a great job at being a piece of shit in it. And I forget the one brother. He plays the clown in American Horror Story. But the other brother is Nick Offerman, and he does a fucking awesome job. So he crushes anything he's in, though. So I highly recommend checking that out. Have something to eat, though, while you're watching it, because it'll make you hungry. I was eating some chicken wings, so I was good. But it'll make you hungry. Anyway, man, I think that'll be it as far as our welcome back episode. Nothing fucking phenomenal, but again, I'm expecting to be here next week. Nothing fucking amazing this week. Just a welcome back, just a how you doing, just a how you been, just to get back into the swing of things, and maybe some things to look forward to next week. We're definitely going to touch on Bel Air next week. I'm going to kind of explore the new music that has come out in the last month or two. I'm going to really kind of open back up to that. I'm going to try and have a better music deep dive next week. We're obviously going to keep an eye on all things NBA. What really gets you back into the NBA is the TNT crew. And I'm not fucking talking about Lefko and Candace and all. Like, no disrespect to Candace or D Wade. Lefko is hit or miss. Shaq's always on, but Lefko's hit or miss. Ernie, Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck. I've said it on here multiple times. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Best sports crew ever. You'll never find a better sports crew. But that tangent being over, we will bring more NBA updates next week. Maybe a little bit more on Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to continue to play that. Other than that, man, you guys stay safe, stay happy, stay wonderful. And if you're listening this long, I very much appreciate you. Much love to you, and we'll see y'all next week.